A damp tunnel led us down, ever deeper into the heart of the mountain. We never suspected. Looking back now, it seems so obvious. The long pulsating walls, the slick floor, the foul stench of half-digested food. When we first entered and saw the jagged rocks like teeth, we should have known. When we first felt the hot breath upon our skins, we should have known. When we first received the handwritten invitation, the cryptic map, and the promise of gold, we should have known. But we ignored all the signs, our eyes blinded by imagined riches, and now, as we slowly digest in the stomach of the mountain, I can only wonder, how did a mountain learn to write invitations?
Hi folks, Stuart Jaffe here. Hope you enjoyed that story. And now let's get on with today's question. Okay, asking me to narrow it down to one author is pretty much impossible. I read way too much and I like too many authors to do that. But today I thought I would highlight a few authors that I think you guys should take a look at, especially because these authors are outside my genre. I write science fiction and fantasy, and these guys are ones who have influenced me in many different ways, but they are not within my genre. So let's take a look. Okay, the first one is John Steinbeck. A big name, I know, but if not for him, I probably wouldn't be writing at all. He is one of the first authors that I started reading on my own and discovered that literature could actually be enjoyable and fun when it wasn't being forced down your throat. Now, another author who has really influenced me was Jack Ketchum. Jack Ketchum writes horror novels, and he started writing around the time of Stephen King, a little bit after Stephen King became a big name, and he was on the same trajectory. But it's a long story, and I've done some blogs and actually on our podcast about why his career didn't come out that way. But he's an incredibly talented writer, very gifted. He writes in very simple, straightforward sentences, almost Hemingway-esque, and yet some of the most frightening, scary stuff I've ever read. And his horror generally doesn't have monsters and supernatural things. It's just the evil that men do kind of thing. And I warn you, if you're faint of heart, this is not for you. But if you can handle some really intense stuff, it's amazing what he can do. And it really, as a writer, teaches you a lot about action, suspense, and that kind of thing. And finally, the last one is John Jakes, who I've only discovered recently, and he writes historical fiction. I find his stuff tremendously helpful when I'm world building, because that's what historical fiction writers have to do. It's just that their world is real, or was real, and mine is fake and made up. But we use a lot of the same techniques, and so I learn a lot from reading his stuff. Plus, it's very interesting and very enjoyable. So there you have it. Those are 3 of my favorite authors. I hope you like them, and if you've not read them, check them out, give them a chance. And thank you for joining me once again. If you have a question for me to answer, you know where to leave it, right down there in the comments. Please subscribe, share, all that good YouTube stuff, and y'all take care. Have a good one.